Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learn English with a Hobbit, episode 40. I'm Alex, and I'm so thrilled you're here to join me for another adventure into the English language and, of course, the incredible world of J.R.R. Tolkien. Today, we're returning to Bag Inn to see what happens after that crazy, unexpected party from our last episode. Poor Bilbo Baggins is about to face the messy reality of the morning after. Let's see how he handles it. Up jumped Bilbo, and putting on his dressing gown, went into the dining room. There he saw nobody, but all the signs of a large and hurried breakfast. There was a fearful mess in the room, and piles of unwashed crocks in the kitchen. Nearly every pot and pan he possessed seemed to have been used. The washing up was so dismally real that Bilbo was forced to believe the party of the night before had not been part of his bad dreams, as he had rather hoped. Indeed, he was really relieved after all to think that they had all gone without him, and without bothering to wake him up, but with never a thank you, he thought. And yet in a way he could not help feeling just a trifle disappointed. The feeling surprised him. "Don't be a fool, Bilbo Baggins," he said to himself, thinking of dragons and all that outlandish nonsense at your age. So he put on an apron, lit fires, boiled water, and washed up. Then he had a nice little breakfast in the kitchen before turning out the dining room. By that time the sun was shining, and the front door was open, letting in a warm spring breeze. Bilbo began to whistle loudly and to forget about the night before. In fact, he was just sitting down to a nice little second breakfast in the dining room by the open window when in walked Gandalf. "My dear fellow," said he, "whenever are you going to come? What about an early start? And here you are having breakfast, or whatever you call it, at 10:30. They left you the message because they could not wait." "What message?" said poor Mr. Baggins, all in a fluster. "Great elephants," said Gandalf. "You are not at all yourself this morning. You have never dusted the mantelpiece. What's that got to do with it? I have had enough to do with washing up for 14. If you had dusted the mantelpiece, you would have found this just under the clock," said Gandalf, handing Bilbo a note, written, of course, on his own note paper. Wow, what a chaotic morning for our poor Bilbo. Those dwarves certainly left a big mess. Now that we've read through that entertaining section, let's dive into some of the cool vocabulary and phrases that popped up. Understanding these words will not only help you get the full picture of The Hobbit, but also boost your everyday English conversations. Before we get to those words, if you're finding this episode helpful for your English learning, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. It really helps our channel grow and reach more fantastic learners like you. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to Learn English with the Hobbit so you don't miss any of our upcoming lessons. Also, I absolutely love hearing from you in the comments. What was your favorite part of this section, or which new word are you excited to try using? Let me know below. Up jumped, to stand up or rise very quickly and suddenly. Hey, imagine someone springing out of bed super fast. That's exactly what up jumped means. It's used when someone moves really quickly from sitting or lying down to standing. It adds a bit of suddenness to the action. Note, often used in narrative to convey sudden action. Dressing gown, a loose robe, typically worn by a person in their home, either before dressing in the morning or after undressing in the evening. Think of that comfy robe you wear around the house, maybe in the morning before you get dressed, or in the evening when you're just relaxing. That's a dressing gown. It's basically a fancy word for a comfortable, loose robe. Hurried, done with great speed, often indicating a lack of care or thoroughness. If something is hurried, it means it was done in a very fast way, maybe a little too quickly and often without a lot of care. So a hurried breakfast means it was eaten sup. Fearful mess, an extremely untidy or disorganized situation. Here, fearful means very great or terrible. Now, this is an interesting one. When you hear fearful mess, it doesn't mean a mess that makes you scared. Here, fearful just means very big or terrible, emphasizing the extent of the mess, not that it causes fear. Like after a huge party, maybe piles, a large quantity of things heaped one upon another. This one's pretty simple. Piles are just lots of things stacked up on top of each other. Think of piles of clothes or piles of books. Unwashed crocks, dishes, pots, or other cooking utensils that have not been cleaned after use. Okay, crocks is a bit an older word. It refers to dishes, pots, or kitchen utensils. So, unwashed crocks just means dirty dishes that haven't been cleaned yet. Imagine your sink after a big meal, full of unwashed crocks. Note, a more common modern term would be dirty dishes. Possessed, to own or have something. This just means to own or have something. If Bilbo possessed many pots and pans, it simply means he owned them. No spooky stuff here, just simple ownership. Dismally, in a very gloomy, depressing, or cheerless way. If something is dismally real, it means it's true in a really gloomy, depressing, or unpleasant way. It's like, ugh, this is definitely happening and it's not good. Was forced to believe, had no other choice but to accept something as true, even if they initially doubted it or wished it wasn't true. This phrase means Bilbo had no choice but to accept something as true, even if he didn't want to. It's like the evidence was so strong, I had to believe it. Note, implies a reluctant acceptance due to overwhelming proof. Indeed, used to emphasize a statement or to confirm something just said. It means in fact or certainly. Indeed is a great word to add emphasis. It means certainly or in fact. If you say, it was a hard day, and someone replies, indeed, they're agreeing and emphasizing it. Relieved, feeling relaxed and happy because something difficult, unpleasant, or worrying has been stopped or avoided. Ah, this is a wonderful feeling. Relieved means you feel relaxed and happy because something difficult, bad, or worrying has finally ended or been avoided. Like when you finish a big test and feel a wave of relief. In a way he could not help. To do something uncontrollably, often referring to a feeling or an involuntary action that one cannot prevent. This phrase is used when someone does something, often an action or feeling, that they just can't control. It's an involuntary thing. Maybe they smile in a way they couldn't help, meaning they just had to smile. Trifle, a thing of little importance or value, or a very small amount of something. A trifle is something that's really not important or a very small amount of something. If Bilbo was just a trifle disappointed, it means he was only a little bit disappointed. Fool, a person who acts unwisely or stupidly. Calling someone a fool means you think they're acting stupidly or unwisely. Bilbo is actually calling himself a fool here for having adventurous thoughts at his age. Outlandish, looking or sounding bizarre or unfamiliar, strange and unconventional. If something is outlandish, it's super strange, really weird, or totally unconventional. It's like, wow, that idea is totally outlandish, meaning it's wild and unusual. Apron, a protective garment worn over the front of clothes and tied at the back, especially when cooking or doing messy work. You know that piece of clothing you put on over your regular clothes to keep them clean when you're cooking or doing messy work? That's an apron. The, the past tense of to light, meaning to ignite or set something on fire. So, if Bilbo lit fires, it means he started the fires. Boiled, to heat a liquid until it reaches its boiling point, often producing bubbles and steam. Again, the past tense of to boil. When you boil water, you heat it until it's bubbling and steaming. Letting in. This just means to allow something or someone to enter. If a window is letting in a breeze, it means the breeze is coming inside through the window. Breeze. A breeze is simply a gentle, light wind. It's usually pleasant and cool. To whistle means to make a high-pitched sound by blowing air through your lips or teeth. People often whistle when they're happy or just passing the time. Sitting down. This means to take a seat, to lower your body into a chair or onto the ground. It's what you do when you want to rest your legs. When in walked. This is a super cool way to say that someone suddenly entered a room. It adds a bit of drama or surprise. I was just about to leave when in walked my old friend. Fellow is an informal and friendly word for a man or a guy. Gandalf calls Bilbo my dear fellow. It's a warm, slightly old-fashioned way to address a friend. If you're all in a fluster, you're in a state of confusion, nervousness, or hurried excitement. You might be a bit disoriented or panicky. Bilbo was probably feeling quite stressed. Great elephants. This is an old-fashioned exclamation of surprise or frustration, a bit like saying, "Oh my goodness," or "wow." It's a colorful way for Gandalf to express his astonishment. To dust means to remove dust from a surface, usually by wiping it. It's a common cleaning chore. The mantelpiece is that shelf that sits right above a fireplace. It's often used to display photos, decorations, or clocks, just like in Bilbo's house. So there you have it, Bilbo's chaotic morning, his mixed feelings, and Gandalf's surprising appearance. I really hope breaking down these words helped you get a deeper understanding of this part of The Hobbit and added some fantastic new terms to your English vocabulary. Remember, the best way to get better at English is to keep practicing. Try using some of these new words in your own sentences today, or even try to retell this part of the story to a friend. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 40 of Learn English with The Hobbit. Your support means the world and helps me continue making these lessons for you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, share it with a friend who's learning English, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next adventure. I'll be back very soon with the next exciting chapter of Bilbo's journey. Until then, keep learning, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy learning!